Greetings, everyone. E3 is a couple hours from being finished, actually, so it's time to do the same thing we do every year. Complain about what they show.
Same thing we do every night.
Okay, well...
We'll probably just go down the list.
Yeah, just go down the list of conferences in order. So, with that said...
Konami, I guess, technically.
Konami?
Did they do anything?
No, they showed off a bunch of games we already saw.
Okay, well in that case...
Zone of Enders, Metal Gear Solid Revengeance.
Alright.
So in that case, Microsoft.
Boo.
Hey
What's
guys,
that? You have sports games and first-person shooters. You don't say. Usher performing very badly.
No, you know what's funny thing was like with Johnny when he said they're all the same thing. I said the exact same thing to my friends, and it's like I agree.
We'll get more into that later, but not so much with I wasn't specifically blaming Microsoft for that, but this is a case where, in Microsoft's case, they really should have started with Call of Duty and ended with Halo 4, and not vice versa.
Well, because we all know Call of Duty's coming out every fucking year. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just that the biggest problem I had with Microsoft's press conference was the lack of exclusives.
Aside from Halo,
you got Halo 4, which you got footage of. It's on the way. We know that. Then you give us a teaser for Gears of War.
Oh, goody, another
prequel, which tells us nothing besides that it's a preview. I'm not even a Gears of War fan, and I found that a bit.
I think it's made by the people who made Bulletstorm.
A lot of screaming in that commercial.
It's not made
And then they make the biggest fucking deal over the multimedia aspects of the Xbox. Like, we don't already know that it can do that.
And no one cares.
Nope.
And then we get this 10-minute Nike commercial inside the middle of it all.
When did this become MTV?
What's that? You're putting a web browser on our Xbox? Great. What is it going to be? Internet Explorer. Everyone.
Internet Explorer is terrible.
I use Internet Explorer.
What is wrong with you, Ted?
I used it a few years ago, but I finally upgraded.
To be fair, I don't like using it, but there are times I have to use Internet Explorer because sometimes YouTube doesn't want to play on Firefox.
And use
Chrome.
I don't like Chrome.
I was told Chrome was terrible.
I'm indifferent to Firefox, but I hate Chrome.
I was told Chrome was terrible.
Well, Chrome. Well, first off, I don't like the interface, and it's just I don't like it. I don't.
Okay, everybody has preference. Anyway, back to the Microsoft. Look, I can understand the Microsoft, steadily increasing the capabilities of the 360 through software updates and firmware updates. You want to make it the one of the greatest multimedia consoles ever, and I get that, but
it's a game system first.
That too, but. Announcing, spending most of E3 by saying that you can watch YouTube videos now on this system. We have internet.
Have a computer
now.
Have a
computer.
That's what most people
were streaming the conference from.
Exactly. Yeah. We already have the internet for this stuff. This stuff is not E3 worthy announcements. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, and this actually came up. This question that popped up a couple days ago when the topic of having internet whatever on the gaming consoles, let's say you do use the internet whatever through gaming consoles and you go through a viral site. What are you going to do when a virus attacks the game console?
Yeah, you don't have like a virus block on that sort of stuff, do you?
That's why I think it's stupid because it's
they'll probably start offering virus protection around another fee.
I've never had a problem with PS3.
But that really never comes across my mind though, so maybe that's what they were getting at.
Yeah.
It's just
stupid.
Most of us watch E3 for the games.
Yes.
You got either like the new sequels, the new IPs, the exclusives, all of that. You want to make it. You want to make the biggest announcements for its multimedia capabilities. That's great. Not at E3. That's what video update on Xbox Live. I want Major Nelson to tell me that you got all this stuff. You don't need to waste an entire E3 press conference for that stuff. Just show us the games. That's all we really care about.
Johnny, would you rather watch that or Usher performing badly?
Why was he there? Last I checked, this was not the MTV Awards.
But okay, look, people will bring up the argument that E3 is really not just for the gamers, also for the stockholders, and I get that.
What?
But
it is to an extent, but that doesn't mean that you can. They wouldn't make a spectacle out of it if they weren't trying to impress potential buyers. So really, E3 is.
But the only people who watch E3 are core gamers.
So make them happy first, and if you make them happy, you'll probably make the stockholders happy at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when you have the core audience of gaming annoyed or confused, things don't look good.
they don't support your product. No support of
Nope.
the product means less money. No money means less stockholders.
Yep.
Now, I'm
But
pretty
anyway-
sure it's much more complicated than that, but that's what I think.
But when it comes to Microsoft's games itself, it's just like it's Gears of War and Halo, the only two exclusives that the system has ever had.
What's that? They're both shooters that the system already has half of its library dedicated to.
Well, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the only first party or closest thing to first party Microsoft has, exclusive for the Xbox 360 that isn't some sort of shooter, is
Rare.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Rare, yeah.
Yeah,
And Rare
and
hasn't been good since the late 90s.
nobody likes that game, so it's just like, do you have anything else? I'm-
Binks the Time Sweeper.
I think it's what Nintendo is the platformers, Microsoft is the first-person shooters. It's just that to me, in terms of it's just that a first-person shooter to me has risks becoming becomes stale faster than a platformer would be, because a platformer, as Rayman Origins and Legends looks to be showing us, can still be really great looking and still be innovative as fuck so many years down the road after the genre was first introduced. First person shooter ages really quickly and it gets samey incredibly fast. What I was getting at earlier, what that Amanda was bringing up, is that throughout the Microsoft press conference, the Sony press conference, and Ubisoft press conference, we saw footage of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. We saw footage of Battlefield 3 Premium Edition. We saw footage we saw footage of Medal of Honor, and we saw footage from Far Cry. I said to myself, you realize that these 4 games can take place in the exact same fucking game, and you wouldn't notice a damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure hardcore fans would be able to tell differences between the HUD or something. But if you just stopped a random person on the street and showed them a
Hardcore,
screenshot
I
of
think you mean shooter core.
well, you know what I meant. You know what I mean.
College
Dedicated fans would
Yeah.
be able to tell
Elliot.
based off
Misogynist?
Elliot, not dedicated fans are called frat boys.
the HUD. Well, okay, fine. People
Elliot.
who really like first-person shooters would be able to tell based off the HUD, but if you just grabbed a regular person and showed them a screenshot of an FPS, they wouldn't be able to tell you what title it was, or they might be able to guess, but it wouldn't be accurate, most likely.
Nope.
Yeah.
You show them a picture of Battlefield 3 or Medal of Honor, they'll most likely say Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If only that's because it's the most popular one.
Mm-hmm.
But
At least they didn't have Connect.
it wasn't so Connect heavy. By the way,
Thank God.
Angry Birds ripoff with the annoying with the annoying actress. Didn't dig that.
I must have missed that, damn it.
Well, okay, I really shouldn't say like Angry Birds ripoff because the concept of launching something on a capsule.
Angry Birds in and of itself is a ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the game people are most comparing it to. You know,
Well, because it's popular.
It sells like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah.
Jeez
But
Louise. Never
yeah.
played Angry Birds.
Jeez
I don't
Louise,
play.
dumb
It's
tish.
it's not really that great.
I
It
figured.
it's just there to extend your shitter time for 10 hours.
Good
Nah.
enough.
Yeah,
I have Nintendogs for that.
So I mean, Microsoft showed some first-person shooters, but really nothing to
It
get
was
work.
incredibly under. And we really didn't need that Usher concert.
No.
Nope.
But I
I
mean,
mean,
Wait,
seriously,
they were promoting Dance Central 3, I think it was.
yeah.
So
I
you
don't
show
know.
Usher dancing with no game footage whatsoever until like 2 minutes after the
Ugh.
dancing already begins. Like,
No,
yeah,
whenever-
okay, we already know it's pre-rendered at this point, guys.
Yeah.
He's not actually dancing with the game.
No.
But I mean,
I just muted that part whenever he came
But
up, or
I
anything
mean-
sports related.
I mean, ultimately, you look at Microsoft and you say, okay, what's any different from last year
Pretty
and
much.
the year before that?
And the year before that.
Microsoft really needs to get more exclusives.
Well, it needs to get some variety more than
Yeah.
anything.
Well, well, here's the thing. It's just like people, they don't need variety at this point because people keep on buying COD and Battlefield and shit. As long as COD, Halo, and Gears keep on selling, they don't need to get anything new.
Stop buying fish.
Give them muscle cookie.
Hey, I like COD of War.
By the way, Silver, take notes of God of War.
We'll get to that in the Sony conference.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll move on to EA next.
Madden,
EA.
football.
God damn it.
Football.
Get out of here. I could just
Plus,
watch
we're
regular...
gonna spend half our conference showing games that we just reskin every year and call it a day.
You don't say.
Now, I skipped EA. Was there anything?
They showed a Sims thing.
The Sim City.
And a Crisis thing. And a Crisis
Not
thing,
interested.
but that's it.
What about Dead Space 3?
Oh, who cares?
Oh, wait. Actually, I made
More
a joke with
shooting.
that.
More shooting.
I made a joke with that when they were fighting some weird fan thingy. I went, you spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby.
I've actually got both Dead Spaces right in front of me.
Well, to be fair, it does look like the best game they're going to be producing the next year.
Yep.
But still, where's Mirror's Edge 2?
At this point, unless you're a diehard Madden fan or a sports fan in general,
Okay,
the only thing they really care about in that conference was Dead Space and maybe Crisis 3.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Where's my Mirror's Edge 2?
It's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
I thought you didn't like that game.
Never.
He thought it was an interesting idea.
I thought it had potential.
It's probably just gonna have
Which
more
is probably
games.
why he wanted a sequel so much, to see the improvements.
Yeah.
Assuming there would be any in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, if the 2 sucks, okay, maybe then it's not a good idea to make a third, but, the first game in any franchise has room to not do quite as hot as it could because it's a new idea. Okay, there were some problems with the first one.
Yep.
Here's how we think we should fix them. Let's do it. No, they're not.
Well, how well did Mirror's Edge do?
Not terribly well, to be honest with you.
Well, then you can't really expect EA to go out of their way because, it's just like, it won't sell 5 million copies, you're not selling it. That's just how they are.
I know, but still, it disappoints me.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Just a
though,
stupid
EA
friends.
wasn't really.
Bleh.
Yeah,
Same games they make every year. Who fucking cares?
Yep.
That's all I say with sports.
Unless it's arcade, I really couldn't care.
NFL Blitz, return,
I'll play NFL
please.
Blitz before I play Madden. I'll play NBA Jam before I
Boom,
play
shakalaka,
NBA.
laka.
I'm not a big sports fan, whatever.
Boom, shakalaka, laka.
Yeah,
I don't care, Dad. I'm not becoming a Bruin.
Hut, 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 hut.
And really, can you get any more better than that?
Yeah. Tecmo Bowl and NBA Jam. Doesn't get any better than that.
Some would say Madden, but I say hut, hut, hut. Fuck you, I won. But,
Yeah.
Alright, so arguably, what was
EA
considered to be the...
I think EA was a bit worse than Microsoft
Yeah.
because they really just didn't try.
I was predicting EA was going to be worse than Microsoft, only because it's EA. I don't care for EA. I haven't played an EA published game in a long ass time, and really, there's a reason for that.
Actually, the last EA published game that I can remember actively enjoying is one of the SSX games. Jesus, that was a long time ago.
The only
I thought you
EA
were gonna
game I
say the
enjoy.
new one.
Oh,
only
no, I
EA
don't have a PS3, so I couldn't play the new one.
Not sure if that's even out yet.
Okay, well, I'm a simulator fan, so the only EA game I enjoy are the Sims games, because I like to make families, blah, 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 cause chaos, be God, whatever.
Yeah.
So wait, was Ubisoft next?
Yes, Ubisoft was
Yeah,
next, and Kings of the Show.
Woo!
I
Mind you,
wouldn't
they
say they...
Well, I'm
A lot
saying
of
Kings of the
people
Show by
seem to
comparison.
agree. A lot of people seem to agree that Ubisoft was the best one of the all.
Not that they did fantastic, but compared
Well,
to
I mean,
everyone
here's the
else,
thing. If Ubisoft had the best conference, that's
Ubisoft.
sad for E3 as a whole.
Ouch.
I mean, granted, EA had... Not EA, what am I talking about? Ubisoft had probably 2 of the most interesting-looking games on the entire show, but, I mean, still, a lot of that conference just sort of sucked.
I think it was just because of the overall structure of the conference. It was all about the games and the stuff they had, ready to go.
they
Obviously,
showed
everyone,
a couple of casual ones, but
everybody, obviously was looking forward to Rayman Legends and stuff like that, and it didn't disappoint on that end. I especially do like that musical level.
That musical level's actually. Well, that musical level's actually a remix of the final level theme from Origins.
But my point is that I love its whole setup. Yeah. That alone makes me want to get Rayman Legends.
Yeah, that's day one purchase for me.
Yeah, Legends looks awesome.
What about Watch Dogs?
That looks amazing
Watch Dogs looks cool too.
I want to, and Beyond.
Oh, yeah, that's for Sony.
That's Sony.
Oh, whoops! Sorry, I get them mixed up. Sorry.
Watch Dogs was Ubisoft, and that looks amazing. If it delivers on its potential. If it delivers on its potential.
Yeah, I like the build up in that one. That was really interesting. And Assassin's Creed,
Well, I mean, it'll be a good game. Just
it'll be a good
better than the ones that have been releasing lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the female one.
How many Assassin's Creed games are there?
5.
There's 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations,
and then
the one
3.
for the PSP.
Yes. Well,
I don't
no
know
one counts really the handheld stuff.
Well, it was kind of like a full game.
Kinda, but it's 5 really.
All right, whatever.
I would want to play a female assassin.
Yeah, that's for the Vita.
No, I know. I don't have a Vita. Damn it.
But now I can't make it. Ezio.
I do.
Ezio the toy.
I gotta say though, that Assassin's Creed 3 trailer did not satisfy my American history.
Yeah, we know.
No.
Where's my John Adams or Hamilton or Jefferson or Franklin or all of those other cool people?
Who cares? We're doing missions from George motherfucking Washington.
I mean, Washington's awesome, but I'd like some of those other guys too. They're pretty cool dudes.
Maybe they'll do it later.
But George Washington's the most badass of them all.
I know, but the rest of them are still pretty cool dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's actually one thing I forgot. One game that I forgot that was showcased on a Microsoft press conference: Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Who cares?
No, but here's the thing, though. My suspension of disbelief was completely thrown out the window when I saw all the shit that Laura was getting into during that demonstration. Did you see the shit she had to take just to advance the next area of the stage? Mm-hmm. She gets mangled by explosions. She gets caught in the fucking rapids, falls off a fucking waterfall.
How is she alive?
Barely activates a parachute, slams through every single goddamn tree on the way down. Lands on her lands in her stomach and face. It's like I know Lara Croft. About to call her Tomb Raider. I know.
How does Tomb Raider do what she does?
Yeah.
But I know she's supposed to be a badass female, one of the most iconic. But she's not fucking Iron Man.
Nope.
Well, I mean, she did fight dinosaurs in her first game, so.
That was more using her acrobatics to avoid the T-Rex, not just let it chew on me and hope for the best.
Oh, I'm just saying, anything with a T-Rex in it automatically gets a little bit of suspension of disbelief from me.
Well, I have to say that the concept is interesting. I know it might have been, with other things, but I kind of like how it's like, this is how she became the person, and whether the game will be good enough.
Like she had a personality to begin with.
I think that's why they're rebooting it to begin with.
That's what I'm trying to say. Trying to give her a little more personality.
Now, Ted, what you're getting at with about the whole the game is, I always got that Tomb Raider had supernatural elements. Not really that. What do you have to say?
Hold on, I'm getting the dog out of here.
Oh, I wanted to hear what the dog had to say.
Bark, bark, bark.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Sorry.
What the dog was getting at here is that yes, there are supernatural elements in Tomb Raider, but I never got that Laura herself could take more than she could chew.
Yeah.
What I saw, and it's also the realistic tone of the reboot. It's about it's Tomb Raider meets Uncharted, pretty much.
Well, Uncharted pretty much is Tomb Raider.
That's something I think it's really interesting, that when Uncharted came out, everyone compared it to Tomb Raider.
Well, it is Tomb Raider, just with a better camera. That's all it is.
The only thing similar is that they both raid tunes.
They're both.
That's an inconsequential coincidence.
What?
It's an adventure story.
It's why
I just
Tomb Raider.
with the whole graphical setting, the way everything's beautifully I mean, it's a nice looking game.
Yeah.
It's just that because of the realistic approach with the graphical setting, my suspension of disbelief is not as high. And as a result, when I saw that demonstration of her getting beat the fuck out by Mother Nature,
Yeah.
it's just
Can't fool Mother
no,
Nature.
she should be in a fucking wheelchair.
Oh,
But I don't know. That's you know what, I may look forward to it because I was I was into Tomb Raider for the longest time during the PS1 days, and well, I really shouldn't say the entire series. I just should say Tomb Raider 2, because I didn't really like Tomb Raider 3, and Tomb Raider 1's a bit too ancient for my taste.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's one of the only games I really want to talk about from that we kind of passed over.
yeah.
Oh wait, I just remembered those 3 IPs that Microsoft introduced that showed us nothing.
Yep.
The Ascend New Gods game, the Loco Cycle, which just shows us a picture of a bike, and
What?
this metal ball thing, which, okay, so you're making new IPs. You're not showing us anything, though. What
Nope.
am I supposed to get from this? Just a
I have a
bike
perfect-
that looks like it was ripped right out of Tron and a metal Pokeball swimming through the entire labyrinth.
Ugh. Motorcycle.
Get down! Get down!
There are those Beyonces with their helicopters.
I have
Oh my
my
God.
close and everything, and that's still coming
Oh
through.
god.
But anyway,
back to Ubisoft.
Rayman Legends looks awesome.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look nice.
It has an
Origins-
appearance of Ezio Auditore.
It's I need to play the game. Blah.
At least we can finally beat up the rabbits.
I mean, I'm
That
glad
poor
that
deer, damn it.
I have the game. It's just that I was kind of hoping I get the PS3 version, only because I'm more comfortable playing platformers with a D-pad than an analog stick.
It's on the
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't get it when I was looking for it. When I was looking at the GameStop, the PS3 version was sold out. All they had left.
Oh, that sucks.
And I'm
wait,
kind of
so
the
what
guy
version did
that
you get?
got the 360 version.
Oh.
I'm the kind of guy that when I come looking for something and there's another version of it, I gotta get it because I don't want to leave the store empty-handed.
Yeah.
I feel your pain. I do that too.
No, I walk into stores and leave empty-handed all the time. The only reason I ever go into GameStop...
No, Pikmin 3 is not out yet.
Comes back tomorrow. Is it out yet? No.
Where's my Luigi's 2?
Later.
Well, actually, what I was going to say, unless if it's like a release day for something I really want, the only reason I'll go into a GameStop is to check the used games rack for anything I might have missed.
I
That
do that
too.
all the time. I do that all the time for GameCube games. Actually,
That's actually what I did when Shadow the Hedgehog came out.
I got that for Christmas.
Billboards are liars.
So yeah, Ubisoft had the best because they had a decent variety and only talked about
It's-
games. And a lot of
Yeah.
good
Well, they had that
games.
stupid shooting match in the middle.
Well,
Who
they were
cares?
trying to showcase their online competitive gaming thing.
they need
Oh.
to work on the bad humor though.
No,
Wait,
Mr. Caffeine wasn't
Mr.
here this year.
Caffeine?
Mr. Caffeine wasn't here this year. And wow, that E3 2011 feels like yesterday. Ugh.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
So wait, who is next? Sony?
Yeah.
Sony was next. Yes.
Sony came
Yay.
close.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had the sequel to the Heavy Rain guy from the Heavy Rain guys. Beyond.
Beyond, which I am
To
looking
infinity
forward to.
and beyond.
What's that? It has gameplay now.
Oh my god. Yay, you learned your lesson.
Well, Heavy Rain wasn't a bad game.
No,
Press
it wasn't.
X to Jason.
X to Jason.
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 Shelby
If
was.
anything, I'm looking forward to it only because I really did like how Heavy Rain came out.
Yeah, I like the story.
I think this looks good.
It
Really
does.
interested in the fact that he said that it takes place over 15 years of this girl's life, so we're going to do a lot of...
And they fixed
jumping
the facial
time.
animations.
Woo! Gee, I hope we don't get any awkward balancing animations
No,
anytime.
I just hope it's more Europeans trying to do American accents.
Why don't they just hire American voice actors?
They're doing that with
They
what's her
do.
face,
They did. Ellen Page.
Ellen Page. Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that the little girl from The Last of Us is Ellen Page.
No, it's not.
Oh,
I know, but everyone keeps saying it. Like no
They're
one's
wrong.
correcting them.
They're wrong.
they're
No.
wrong.
There's a lot of people. Like every video.
They're
I've
all
seen-
wrong.
So I mean that looks good, but we don't really have much information about it.
Yeah.
I saw a
showed
gameplay
more-
video.
There's no more story, which is fine. It's going to be story driven, but
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Was there any kind of release date?
no, probably
No.
next year.
mentioned? Yeah,
One of
next
my
year.
most
Gonna-
anticipated games.
Yeah,
It's probably next year.
definitely looking forward to it. They showed more PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Sony
damn
Smash
it.
Brothers. Sony
Smash
Smash Brothers.
Even Sony admits
Yes,
it's a
we
Smash
get it.
clone.
Yeah, did you see what they did to one of their videos?
Yeah, it's got like Smash
Oh.
Brothers in
In
the
tag,
tags.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And one of Sony's videos on YouTube, one of the tags is Super Smash Brothers.
I think
They
it was
know.
Like, the only-
They
know.
know, and you know what? They're all the better for doing that because at least they're not trying to deny it.
I mean,
No,
it looks like an okay game. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong.
I'm definitely gonna get it.
it looks
If only to beat up Nathan Drake with the Big Daddy.
No, you know what? I couldn't help but snicker at the thought. I'm like,
And
If they're gonna
Kratos
let a
loses
lot of
to
Sony
fat
characters
princess.
in- No, it's like if Sora is one of the
I doubt
fighter.
it.
I can see Ryan playing the game and have Sora as the enemy just so he can beat the shit out of him.
We're already doing that with Nathan Drake.
I'm surprised they haven't announced Crash or Spyro yet.
I'm surprised they
Just
haven't
said-
announced Ratchet or Jack.
Well, it's just
Oh,
like those
I-
Crash and
I- I-
Spyro pretty much helped sell the PlayStation in the
I hope
early
to
years.
God they bring it.
Yeah, but they're third party now.
Yeah.
What don't matter? You cannot. Crash, to me,
Is
will
Sony.
always be synonymous to Sony.
Yep.
And Spyro, too. I never really played Spyro that much, but I can probably say the same thing for Spyro.
Yeah.
I really hope to God Crash Bandicoot makes it in there, and I hope he's a badass character because that guy really needs to come back. I miss Crash Bandicoot so much, and it pains me to say that what the hell's happened to him in recent years. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want them to pull a Marth and Smash Brothers. I want them, bring another Crash Bandicoot game back. I'm not saying it has to be developed necessarily by Naughty Dog, although I'd be lying if I said I didn't want that to happen.
Not
But
gonna
come
happen.
on, I need another Crash Bandicoot game. I need it to be good.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
pains me
And
to
how
say
about
my
the
favorite
return-
one has worked, and that was
Me too.
over 10 years ago.
And how about the return of Parappa?
Parappa looks hilarious.
Jump, kick, and slide to the right.
it's step to the left.
Kick, punch.
It's
It's all
right.
in the mind.
Punch. It's all in the mind and something. I can't remember the rest. Damn it.
Well, I just find it funny that they're bringing him back even though he only had 2 games.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna beat the shit out of him.
I was gonna say no. They're probably not gonna count. What was the name of the other one that was that made Lammer Jammy? I think it was.
I don't think they're going to count
with
that
the
one.
guitar. I don't think it count. I think it's in the same continuity. When
Yeah.
yeah. First. But anyway,
Looks fun. At least it'll hold me over until Real Smash comes out.
yeah, real Smash.
Real Smash.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
Or
calling
you
it
could,
by. I'm not
just
calling it
play
by.
Brawl or Melee.
I'm not calling it by its real name. I'm calling it Sony Smash Brothers.
Sony Smash. Well, yeah.
That's what it is.
I was trying to think like a. Actually, that just. Why is it called Super Smash Brothers with Mario and the others?
It's just a
Super.
name.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Super
Just makes
Mario
sense.
Brothers, which is a recognizable name, but Smash because there's fighting.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so it's more like around with Mario and his brother.
Yeah,
Well-
sort of. Yeah, so after
It's a name.
Okay.
so after Sony Smash Brothers, we got a lot of Vita stuff, also known as Please Buy the Vita.
The
Was
beat-
any of it looking okay?
It looks okay, just
Trying to remember.
Again,
have a
All
Vita
they
Mini.
show is
like we
Black
mentioned.
Ops spin-off and the new Assassin's Creed.
Which
like
one
we
was
met-
Far Cry?
Far Cry was
Cry.
Ubisoft.
Yeah. You,
Oh, whoops.
Well, I mean, they
Never
did
mind.
show some of that for the Sony conference, but we already
Yeah.
had enough of that for the Ubisoft.
The guy had a
conference.
really deep voice.
Yeah, I love the guy's voice, by the way.
Let's play some Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
Like everyone was on Twitter typing, like, making fun of the conferences live, and we're
Oh
all
my
like
God.
tweeting each other and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
like this. Sorry.
I don't think the audience
you can see.
link that you're sending us, but
Sorry.
oh, Jesus Christ. No, I think for the sake of the video, we should just edit the the picture in.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna remember, but whatever.
I'll remember. I'll remind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for the funny things that happened in 3.
We can't really go on an image linking binge while we're
no,
recording.
don't do that.
I won't.
But I mean, we had a lot of PS Vita stuff, and then we had that stupid book.
No,
read a book.
Let's end with Wonder Book. I want to get in the God of War section.
It's God of War. It's gonna be fun.
it actually looks like really improved from the last game.
Yeah, it looks like they fixed some of the jumping and air stuff from 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
God of War. Okay.
I also think the graphical style looks a lot
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's kind of a tweaked style.
Definitely a bit more colorful than
Yeah.
God of War.
And gorier.
It's in daytime.
Well, it's God of War. Gore is a given.
I know. I
I
like
mean, it still looks fun.
Yeah, it does.
And come on, we all thought of Silver Psychokinesis.
Yes, we did. We did.
A Kratos
Oh,
standing
Thinking that-
inside a green symbol, causing
Physics,
physics.
Silver, take notes.
pretty much. I'm
mean,
pothead
seriously.
the Kratos. After I smoke a J, I'll rip your head off.
What do you think about their inclusion of multiplayer?
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
How
we'll
would
see how it-
multiplayer God of War work? Who would you
There's
play
lots of
as?
gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, then, who would you play as other than
You
Kratos?
play,
Like
you,
two
you play
teams
as
fighting
various
each other.
captains. You play as various army captains and stuff that play just like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Of
likely.
course.
Yeah. I
Collect
can see it.
orbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely still going to be thinking of Psychokinesis every time I use
I mean,
that.
it's God of War. I know it'll most likely be a very good game if not doing too much different.
I cannot dodge the lasers with my Psychokinesis.
Jesus.
I'll just have to satisfy ripping their head off instead.
Jeez Louise.
So, I mean, it looks fine. And then they ended with Last of Us, which looks very good.
That does
I don't.
look-
Well, I don't get it. What makes The Last of Us look so much better than like Zombie or anything?
Because
they
it's
all
an
look
actual
like.
survival game.
Well, from what I can tell, Zombie U looks like a survival game.
You have
Well,
infinite
There's...
ammo for shit.
look, when I first saw it too, Ted, I was thinking the same thing. But further looking deeper into it, there's
Yeah.
something... Well, first off, we have no idea why it's post-apocalyptic in the first place. Unless there was more information.
It's like a
linked to it,
fungus.
Well,
Fungus
it's,
outbreak.
whatever it is,
The mushroom
we
zombies.
don't even know there's going to be like zombies in it. I'm
There
hoping to
are.
God it. Oh, there are zombies. Are there?
At the beginning of
The
the
zombie, yeah.
trailer, that's them. He like pushed a shelf or something in front of a door, and it
Mhm.
like as if they just ran away from a bunch of them.
Mhm.
That's why they're
Oh.
all out of breath and stuff.
It's more like the, what's it, what was that? I Am Legend kind of zombies.
I Am Legend. Yeah.
Oh, not that movie.
Mind you, that's not exactly an accurate representation of I Am Legend, the book, but
Oh,
But
it's
the-
a book?
you know what we mean.
Yeah, it's a book first, and then it was a movie.
Of course it was. Okay.
I'm
So-
just
but I mean
saying
those
that
things.
even if it's executed well, it's the concept itself is not.
It's an actual
actually, I'll
survival-
compare it to Mario
survival
because I know
horror.
we're all going to get mad at Mario
We'll
later
be
on.
quiet about Mario for a bit.
No,
Ted.
hold on. Everybody's mad about Mario because it's the same thing over and over again. So even if Mario Wii U, Mario 2 and the best 2D Mario game ever, people are going to be mad because it's the same concept done over again. That's sort of kind of to a lesser extent what I feel about The Last of Us. Yeah, it looks like it'll be okay.
You're not paying
But
attention.
the concept is it's just been done before and I don't have a reason to care.
I think.
How about an actual survival game?
Yeah, but this game, it's not so much about just blasting away through the zombie hordes. It's rather you just surviving.
Yeah.
Well,
Through
they've
other-
done that before too.
No,
No,
I like how there isn't
look,
regenerative.
not so much anymore. Everything
Yeah,
else is
there's-
pretty much blown up.
Aside from
There-
Silent Hill 2, no, not really.
No, look,
not really.
there is no regenerative health in this game.
You can actually craft your own items and stuff.
It's pretty much the closest you'll get to what if you were, slapped right in the middle of a zombie plague, and
Right.
you had to actually worry about survival, not so much about like
Winning.
Yeah, like if you can, Ted, if you can compare it immediately to anything else that has something similar to this, what would you like compare it to?
What?
The Last of Us compared to. Okay, look, I can completely understand where you're getting at about this being done to death in terms of setting. Yes, I get that.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
like
just
the
like,
whole-
when I hear survival horror with zombies, my mind immediately jumps to the
Resident
first
Evil.
3 Resident Evil games because
They're going to be
zombies.
nothing the same.
Well,
Yeah.
well, when they're based off of survival and you've got to manage your resources and all yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
you really don't have to worry about it too much in Resident Evil, to be honest with you.
Well, when
Well,
you've
depends on
played
which
the
game,
game, well,
but-
when you've played the games before, I'm sure on a first playthrough you got to manage your stuff well because you're not as good at it. I'm just
Well, you can
saying,
run
even
past
if it
everything
ends
more,
up
but
being a more refined Resident Evil, which I'm sure plenty of people would be
it's
fine
not.
with it.
It's not.
Which I'm sure plenty of people would be fine with. It's just like saying zombie apocalypse is one of the most. It's odd. Saying zombie apocalypse is one of the easiest ways to lose my attention in today's world of gaming. That's strange.
I just don't think you're paying enough attention to it, but sure, whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks good. I want to play it so bad.
it's one of those things that I can't really explain too much, but I am looking forward to it too. And to me, in my case, I can look. I am sick of the whole zombie apocalypse setting too. Jesus, how many games since like the mid 2000s have we had that has a fucking zombie setting in it? Or if not, a game that has an optional thing that involves zombies.
I have no idea.
A lot.
Yeah.
Lot. There we go. Sorry.
But this one's going about it differently instead of just
Yeah.
blasting
This one's
everything
going.
down.
This one's
I'm
going
just-
for. This one's going for atmosphere. This one's going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I like that. And
to
I
me,
give it
I'm
credit
looking.
for that.
I'm looking forward to it because of that.
I find it kind of amazing that out of in an industry where sequels get all the big money, the two most hyped games from the E3 are 2 new IPs: Last of Us and Watch Dogs.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and
Beyond.
Beyond is 3, but
Yeah.
I just find that kind of weird.
You guys aren't excited for Wonder Book?
We're saving
It's
Wonder
almost
Book for
like
last.
There's nothing else to
Fine.
talk about.
Anticipated.
No, there's
I can
one
talk
more
about it.
conference we can talk about.
No, I thought
Oregon.
we were going to do Wonder
Oh.
Book at the end of the Sony conference.
John, do you mean the last Sony or?
The Last for Son. We're not going to finish this fucking discussion with Wonder Book. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Damn it! This just proves I'm ADHD.
Okay, so Wonder Book.
Read a book.
Waste of time.
Read
Next
the book.
conference.
Read a book. Read a motherfucking
It was like-
book.
The conference was going really well, and then
And
it
then
just hit a
it
wall.
It just tripped. It tripped over this
What?
book.
I don't
Make
know
your
why
own
they
rules.
thought it was a good
It's
idea
like,
to
you know what it
pick
is?
up so
Is this imagine the Sony press conference in the shape of this hiker. He's hiking up he's upping up the hill. He's going journey just well. Then he trips on a book, stops to look at the book. He stops his journey to look at this book. That's what Wonder Book is. It's
Makes you wonder.
it's completely uninteresting. They do the core audience is kids.
Okay.
Yet they use no kids to demonstrate the games. Instead, they use
And-
adults.
Yeah, of course,
And it-
considering in order to get all the
well,
necessary
okay, when you put it
equipment,
that way, that does make sense.
and according, of course, you have to get all the necessary equipment to use all of it. So you have to have a PS3, a PSI, the wands, and the book.
And the books.
I'm just missing the book.
Money.
It's like too
Money.
expensive for that shit.
And the demo goes on for fucking ever.
Yes, you can wave your wand around like a stupid little thing. No one cares. Move on.
I was not bothered, but okay.
It was just stupid.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
I don't know why they thought
Nobody is going to buy it.
Except for kids.
Well, again, you have to have all the right equipment to use it.
Well, I mean, the kids are probably. I mean, even if I was a kid, I wouldn't have seen the appeal in that thing.
Neither would
it looked
I.
fun. Yes.
Okay.
And I was a dumb kid.
I got a game console to play game.
What exactly is the demographic for the Wonder Book? Is it kindergartners? Preschoolers?
Harry Potter fans?
I don't know because I'm watching
Yeah.
adults play it.
And failing at it, too.
Yeah, it's another reason why the demonstration went on long, because they fucking suck at it. How do you suck at something like this?
Well, how do you suck at something like with the Connect of Rise of Nightmares? Because it's failed demo. It's the whole, what do you call it? The whole, not, there's a word for it, god damn it. The whole, it's not accurate with
The equipment sucks.
Yeah.
Unresponsive?
there we go.
Unresponsive.
Thank you.
Oh,
Getting frustrated over one stupid word.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was Sony. Are we ready to move on to the big one?
Yeah.
This is the big one to you?
Let's just let me just get my.
Well, it's the
bearings
one
here.
we've got the most to say about, I think, is what he means.
And it
Yeah.
was the one I was the most excited for.
Me too.
And then
Let me just go on.
Okay,
and say,
it wasn't. It was not. It was not
Hold on,
that.
hold on,
Just
hold on. Wait,
what
I'm just
they
saying. I'm just saying as a pre-word before we actually start getting into this. I look forward to the Nintendo conference every year because I love Nintendo. It's my favorite video game company of all time. To me, even in later years when maybe, God forbid, it hits like a hard road and it never recovers. To me, I'll never consider Microsoft better than Nintendo. I'll never consider Sony maybe, but I'll never consider Sony better. I just love Nintendo. I've grown up so many years with this company, and every year, and you know what? I like Reggie too. I think he's
One badass mofo.
yeah.
tell me anyone
His body is ready.
His
ready,
body,
thank
and
you.
indeed, his
Ready.
body was ready.
That was hilarious.
Was it ready to withstand the shitstorm?
It's not that It's not that bad.
It's not as bad as EA, but it's the most disappointing because the hopes were so
Yeah.
high.
And Nintendo was definitely the most disappointing.
It was the most disappointing, but it wasn't like it was an awful
It was pretty bad, dude.
It wasn't pretty bad. It was
pretty bad.
It does not mean terrible
Anticlimactic.
just because
It
we
was
have a
pretty
higher
bad.
standard.
Anticlimactic, I'll go with that.
It was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it's
That's how I describe EA as a whole. E3 as a whole. It was very anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic. Got your hopes
So
up
we
for nothing.
started out with Ted fangasming.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
First
I
off,
woke up
we
late.
We start with that little short with Miyamoto with the pigment thing, and again, like I mentioned, we're doing the Sonic Paradox live stream. Like the first camera shot we have is Miyamoto looking like he's reading something from like waist up, and my immediate assumption is, wait, is he taking a shit? No, but he's just simply reading, I guess, the E3 transcript as he's getting ready to speak his horrible English, but.
At least he tries.
He
Yeah.
tries, but again, like last year, they had the whole translator spiel, which thankfully they lowered Miyamoto's voice as the translator was speaking for him. Something they didn't do last year, which annoyed the fuck out of me.
I was kind
But
of
anyway,
Well,
Yeah.
just in general, the first how long did they take? Like the first 15 minutes of Nintendo's conference was by far the best part of the entire conference.
yes.
And that's fucking sad to say that. That doesn't bother
Well,
you.
no, the Pikmin 3 looked awesome.
Well,
It
I'm
does.
not saying
It
I'm not
does.
saying Pikmin 3 did look awesome, but if you can say the best part was the beginning and that's it.
Well, I mean,
and
There
it's
were
That's starting at the top of the mountain and then just falling down the rest of the
the
show.
snowball effect.
well, before we get on a shitstorm about Nintendo, can we talk about how cool Pikmin 3 looks?
I thought it looked really good.
yeah.
It did look
Pikmin-
nice.
I've been-
I'm not, I can't say anything because I'm indifferent to Pikmin.
It looks
Okay.
good. I'm
It
not,
looks
I'm
fun.
not,
I
fan of
played
Pikmin,
Pikmin.
but I thought it was really good.
I mean, it
I'm
looks
not-
good. I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, certainly looks good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I did buy the first Pikmin only because when we get to eventually commentating over that game, I don't want to sound like the complete dipshit and question everything he sees. So I'm going to buy the first Pikmin. Hopefully, maybe if I enjoy it, I'll get the sequel, and if I enjoy that, I'll get this. But
Yeah.
as of now, I can't say anything about it.
Well, here's the thing. It's just like I'm a big fan of this franchise just because the Pikmin 1 was my favorite launch title for the GameCube. I really loved that game. So when I got Pikmin 2, it was... I mean, it's a good game on its own, but it didn't focus on the right things, I thought. Instead of like focus on the strategy and the multitasking, it was just a dungeon crawl. So Pikmin 3 looks like what Pikmin 2 should have been, only with awesome graphics and interesting Pikmin types and awesome enemy designs. And
Flying Pikmin we totally didn't intentionally try to show off in the beginning.
oh yeah, the flying one.
Hi.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
You're getting that shirt that guy was wearing, aren't you, Ted?
I couldn't
I
find
get
it.
He
I
is.
couldn't find it.
I think Ted will get a Pikmin plushie before he gets the
I've
Pikmin
already
shirt.
ordered
you
it.
will.
It's in the mail
Oh
from
my
Oh,
God.
Amazon.
you fucking nerd.
hey,
Johnny, do I need to point out those 2 Sonic figurines you've got?
I got those over the course of 6 years.
I got the Sonic figurine, the 10-inch, 10-inch one with the felt.
Johnny,
I
I'm
got-
pretty sure your collection of gaming merchandise outclasses mine by quite a lot.
You'd be surprised, actually.
I'm not quite there yet.
In terms of video game, just go off a tangent here. In terms of video game merchandising, the only 3 things that immediately stick out to me is my Master Sword, which I got at a flea market, the Metal Sonic figure, which I got launch day immediately, and the Sonic figure that I just got that I can't stand up right. That's been out for the longest time, and I only just now.
Yeah, the only one I have is the Metal Sonic figure and the Meepy plush.
I used to have the Knuckles figure that disappeared off the face of the earth, and I have no idea where the hell that went.
Poor Dan Green.
The only other thing that I have
I'll give
is
you mine.
This Batman Arkham City poster board that I won at the GameStop raffle.
A standee?
Yeah, the standee. I have that on the corner of my room that I won at a raffle because I went to the Arkham City midnight release.
Oh, sweet.
And I won that in a raffle, so that's standing right there. And
Damn.
that's about it. I mean, I got plenty of posters.
I like your room, to be honest, when I see your reviews, and you got all those damn posters.
Yeah, I got plenty of posters, but in terms
Those
of like
damn posters.
I don't really have much other than the Metal Sonic and Sonic. Anyway,
moving on. So we had Pikmin 3, which looks very fun.
Yay!
Don't get me wrong. And then we have
Mario.
another 2D Mario game.
No, okay, here's my problem. If they had one Mario game, whatever. Okay, it's a Mario game. It'll probably be fun. I might not pick it up right away, but I'll play it eventually.
For a launch game for the Wii U, fine. Just to
They don't need two of them.
No.
That's my biggest.
yeah, that's the biggest deal everybody's having. I was really hoping Mario would not become that once a year type of spiel.
You had all the Nintendo fan voice, bitch at Sega for releasing a Sonic game every year. Hello.
Well, Mario. Well, here's the thing. Between what was it? Between it's like 64 and 64 and Galaxy 2. Besides spin-offs, Mario platformers, there was decent space between them. You know?
And second
because
Galaxy,
they take their fucking time with them.
And then after Galaxy 2, you got Mario Wii and then Mario 3D Land, and now we've got two Mario games coming out this year.
It's gonna be bad.
Months
They're gonna be rushed.
apart.
So it's.
I mean, I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just you're oversaturating your own market.
Where's my
With
Luigi
the most
love?
famous mascot.
Doesn't matter.
No, if anything, Luigi's Mansion is only accentuating that.
Well,
Because it's in the same universe.
In Paper Mario.
And Paper Mario.
Well,
I'm
I
sure
give
they'll be-
Paper
they'll be-
Mario and Luigi's Mansion a little bit of slack because
They're
they
still
at least
Mario
play
But they're
different.
still
care, but
Mario.
why
But hey, look, I
understand that.
I understand Luigi's Mansion and Paper Mario are two different genres, but it's still Mario.
Okay.
Well, I'm.
The only thing we needed was Mario repairs the VCR and Mario sets the grocery list to the side of the counter.
Well,
They may be different games, but it's still Mario.
Well, you guys gotta forgive me for being excited about Paper Mario, because Thousand Year Door is one of my favorite games
and I
ever.
love
Mine too.
Luigi's Mansion, so I play Luigi's
Look,
Mansion
they're
too.
fine. They're different games.
We're not questioning taste here. We're not going to attack you for looking forward to the games. No, we're just attacking Nintendo for
Not doing anything else.
saturating Mario. That's it. We're
Okay.
not attacking anybody's taste here.
Okay.
Well, I think they would have just been better. Well, I think that the over Mario
There was-
saturation happened because, one, we had Mario Wii U shown off at the big E3 conference, and then they talked a little bit about DS, but not really at the conference. I think they should have just ignored 3DS and did it at the software showcase, because all three 3DS games that they showed were Mario.
Mario.
They could have shown Fire Emblem, but no, just for a bit of variety. Which, thank God, that's coming over here. I was worried about that.
And that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem we had with the Nintendo conference was the lack of variety.
So you had Pikmin and then Mario,
Yeah, Pikmin, Mario, and
Mario,
just
Mario.
Batman.
That's a third
But
part.
we already had that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Then you had a huge string of nothing but Mario.
Gee.
Good look. We know the Wii U is getting third-party software. We know that.
Well, the problem is
That
all the
would-
third-party software is either A, already out for the other two systems,
Mm-hmm.
or B, it's going to be ports of everything else. So really, what point is there to get a Wii U if you already have a 360 or PS3?
True.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're getting Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah, so is everyone else.
Yep.
There's always like the Wii U specific stuff, but I don't think that's enough to
I was gonna
to
ask.
justify buying a new console for, you know.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's so special about the ports?
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're getting Mass Effect 3 and Batman Arkham City. Yeah, everyone was interested in those games has already played them.
I don't think you'd ever buy Mass Effect 3 for your Wii U because you don't have the save files from Mass Effect 1 and 2. That seems incredibly pointless.
I'm sensing a Mass Effect collection for Wii U.
Oh, boy.
Lewis, what up?
I'd buy it. Okay, I'll say it. I'd buy the Mass Effect collection, if only because I've been meaning to play the games.
I know the story, but
But
They didn't show from third parties. They didn't show anything particularly interesting.
we just all right.
There
look,
was the Lego thing, which looks decent.
Eh.
It looks
Okay,
decent.
okay, hold on.
Looks
There's only one
okay.
thing I want to say with that Lego thing. At least they're talking.
I actually like the pantomime. Some of the Lego Star Wars cutscenes are pretty funny.
They're doing Lego Lord of the Rings. Why?
They are.
Because they make
Right.
money.
I'm one of those. The Lego games just look too similar to me to really stick out.
Well,
Yeah.
I played a lot.
I was never into the Lego Indiana Jones, Batman, Star
Yeah,
Wars,
me
any of
either.
that.
Then-
Because I
Household
never liked the Lego visual style.
Me neither.
Well, I played. Well, here's the thing. I had a friend who was big into Legos, not like the games, like the actual Legos.
Goes, yeah, I
So
was.
he was also a Star Wars fan, so we picked up Lego Star Wars, and we played that co-op, and that's actually a pretty fun co-op game to play, especially if you've got like young kids to play, because it's a fun enough game, but it's just like there's nothing really special about them.
Yeah,
they're
I
just-
kind of. Sorry.
They're just sort of there, and so I get the same feeling from the Lego City thing, where it's like it'll be a fun game, especially if you got like young kids to play co-op, but it's not like a system seller or anything. It looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah, I will agree with what Amanda was talking about. That now that they have dialogue actually.
Yeah.
Because another thing that I never really played the games, but I've seen enough footage of it. Because I have my Elliot. He likes the Lego games,
Yeah.
and the visual humor is the same shit all the time. Oh, look, he fell apart like Legos because he's
Yep.
made of Legos.
Legos.
I was like, yeah, that doesn't
Get old
get
fast.
tired. That doesn't get old
Yeah.
fast. So I can definitely appreciate the dialogue-focused humor this time, and I think it made stick out as a result. But in terms of just as a whole, I could just skip over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying
I-
it's at least something. It's at least something that looks okay. That'll probably be at launch, but it's not like a. If I have nothing
okay.
better to do, I might rent it. Is my point.
Even though that could be the case, I have Legos Indiana Jones, and to be honest, I wasn't that interested in it. I played it, and then I'm like, play something else.
Mhm.
I mean,
Hold
I
on.
like Legos, but it was just I'll play the
This-
actual Legos.
I'm trying to think what else was at Nintendo's
Nintendo
E3.
Land. Hi.
Why-
this minigame
I walked
package.
out of the room when that was going on.
Why isn't that a real place?
They have
Well,
Pokemon.
true.
They have a Pokemon amusement park in real
All right,
life.
to expand on that, yes, you're right. Why isn't Nintendo Land a real place? I'd totally go to that. Yeah,
I
a
would too.
24-year-old grown-ass man would go to a place called Nintendo
I'm-
Land.
Don't care.
I'm a 20-year-old.
Don't
I
care
don't-
really, because honestly, you can be 60-something years old and still go to Disney World, and you wouldn't
That's
be
true,
looked at.
you know.
But
Yeah.
True.
yeah, I would definitely would have liked to see Nintendo Land as a real amusement park, but as
Well-
something for the Wii U, that could be the
Eh.
equivalent of PlayStation Home, which I don't think anybody participates in.
It's just as
So
bad.
I could be wrong. I want to put
Well,
words
no,
in.
I don't think that it's going to be the home. What
I
they're
think it's just going to be
implying,
a Wii. It's just a Wii Sports sort of
they're
thing.
they haven't officially confirmed it, but they've implied pretty heavily that they want this to be the Wii Sports, like the pack-in title. And I've got to say, if this is a pack-in title, it'll probably be a pretty good pack-in title. If I have to pay for it,
But you spent so long on it, though, when you immediately spent 5 minutes talking about the beginning of the conference. We're short on time, so let's do lots of games. Nope, let's spend 20 minutes explaining a
Playing
mini game.
They spent way too long on that Luigi's Mansion game.
Ugh. No, you know,
See.
it's like to me, when I saw Nintendo Land, it just made me think of that. I just saw a glimpse of it, but it made me think of that Disneyland Connect game. I'm like, are we doing that again, really?
well, it's. I think that if it ends up being a packing game, I think it would do its
As a
job.
pack-in game, it'll be fine.
Okay.
It's just
I'm
like, and
not
from what I
paying
hear
for it,
from
though.
the demos, the mini games are fun enough. So
It just tired us out.
For something that's supposed to get you used to the gamepad, I completely appreciate it. It's just that for the conference, they spent too long on it.
well, I think they're.
If it's something, if Nintendo Land exists specifically for you to get used to the Wii U's gamepad, then don't oversaturate what we need to know about it. If it's
Then,
meant specifically, if it's simply tutorial based, then just give us the game, give us the controller, and let us figure it out for ourselves.
We're not stupid.
Well, I think what they were trying to think of is that it's all of your Nintendo franchises put together
Yeah,
in
they
something
were-
that's
they
not
were using
Smash
Luigi's
Brothers.
Mansion.
No, Ted. You mean Mario, Pikmin, and one Zelda, one Metroid, and one F-Zero, and nothing else.
No, they had like Balloon Fight and.
No one cares about Balloon Fight.
Hold on, Chugga Conroy listed everything that he thought was going to be in there.
Oh, who cares?
Someone
Hold
actually
on,
thought
hold
Pokemon was
on,
gonna be in there,
hold
but I
on.
don't-
He thought he listed?
No,
Or does
He's
they
there.
had all of the icons there. So
Okay,
Zelda, Pikmin, Metroid, Mario, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, Yoshi, Game & Watch, Donkey Kong, Takumaru, which I've never heard of,
It's
F-Zero, and
it's
Balloon
a-
Fight.
Takumaru's a very old NES game.
Okay, F-Zero and Balloon Fight. So, that's actually a pretty decent representation
Where's
of
my
the
real
Nintendo
F-Zero game,
franchise.
goddammit?
Well, okay, look.
I mean, that was
I'm
ultimately
not-
my
No.
biggest problem with
I'm
Nintendo.
not,
Where's
yeah, I'm not-
everyone else?
Yeah.
No, it's not a bad representation of everything.
No,
Nintendo.
not
No.
no. And I don't mean just
No.
that. I mean games.
Games.
Where's
sorry.
everyone else?
A
A lot of these franchises have been gone for the entire Wii. Where's Star Fox? F-Zero? How about another Fire
Samus.
Emblem or Samus?
A better one.
Where's everyone else? Hello?
They didn't get the memo.
I mean, it's like, oh, we're gonna make a virtual theme park with all of our great franchises, but not release any games for them.
Nope. We have no games.
Well, I doubt that the F-Zero minigame in Nintendo Land is seriously taking away time and effort from an F-Zero racing game,
the only problem, look, I'm not gonna like look and discuss in Nintendo Land because for something that's supposed to get you used to the Wii U's gamepad, I think it's gonna do its job just fine. I just thought they spent too much time on it in the conference.
At least it wasn't a book.
I walked out of the.
Yeah, true, but it's not what we were looking forward to.
Where's everyone else?
They
All I
they-
see is Mario.
Miyamoto said he had interest in doing a F-Zero Wii U game.
Where is it then?
Well, he's probably working on
They didn't
Pikmin
get the
3.
memo.
I was honestly expecting to hear something from the new Retro Studios game.
They're working
Yeah.
on something.
Yeah,
They're working
not
on
done
something.
yet.
A lot of people are thinking it's another Metroid title, which I hope to God is true.
Yeah, a lot
It
of
has
people
to
asked
be
Reggie
good.
about it, and he's refusing to comment on it.
Well, of course
Other
he's
than
refusing to
two.
comment on it. He's a CEO. They're not allowed to say anything conclusive.
They are signed to a contract.
Yeah, no Smash Brothers either, which is
I-
understandable.
I- well,
but
nobody
I-
expected
Evil?
Smash
Resident
Brothers.
Evil?
I wasn't expecting Smash Brothers.
no.
Next year, yes, but not this year.
This
No.
year. Nope.
There's no excuse for it not to be there next year.
But
No.
I mean, yeah. Besides Pikmin 3, is just Mario,
Mario and
ports.
Well, Paper Mario and Luigi's Mansion. at least
Again,
look
I know
interest-
what you
at
mean,
least-
Ted. I
No,
get
but I
what
mean,
you
like
mean,
from
but
a
there's-
Can we at least talk
gameplay
about it?
perspective, at least they look interesting enough.
Yes,
I want my
would
Luigi's
just- I would
Mansion
just
now.
prefer someone else's
okay.
face on it.
What the games themselves, as individually, New Super Mario Brothers 2, I can look. I'm going to get both games regardless because
Probably.
in the end, I am a fan of Mario and I will buy his games as long as they're good, obviously.
Good.
But with Mario, I'm pretty much guaranteed. I'm gonna have a solid platform in my hands. Not
just
digging the
burned
coin
out.
concept. I'm not digging
Yeah.
the coin concept of
He's got
New
the
Super Mario
golden
Brothers
touch.
2 because Jesus Christ, how many times are you gonna hear that coin sound effect?
Yep.
Well, I'm just thinking if they're gonna have a platformer based upon getting lots and lots of money, why not make a new Wario Land game?
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, is technically a spin-off of the Mario franchise, but at least it's different enough for that people would be able to complain less.
I'm not sure if the whole coin gimmick of New Super Mario Bros. 2 is strictly just a world theme level, or it's the entire concept, the entire game.
It's the
If
entire
it-
game.
It's the entire game's concept.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
in
you
that
look
case,
at the box art, it's pretty obvious.
then New Super Mario Bros. 2 better be the hardest fucking Mario game in existence if they're throwing that many coins at you. Because me and Ryan have already discussed how pathetically easy it is to farm so many lives in Super Mario Land 3 that it removes all challenge.
Yeah.
You never have to worry about getting a game over or restarting from the beginning of the level because you have so many lives.
Yep.
And in this case, where they're throwing coins up the wazoo to your face because of your Midas touch,
Yep.
then it better be the hardest Mario game in existence. Harder than Lost Levels, dare I say.
I was gonna say, yeah. Oh my god,
That's a little bit too hard.
that's extreme, as my father would say.
I've beaten Kaizo Mario levels, so Nintendo will never do anything that hard.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
haven't beaten the whole game, though.
I'm not sadistic, I just can beat a few levels.
Oh Jesus.
But I mean, too much
Now-
Mario, guys.
new Super Mario Brothers U, I'm looking forward to on a completely different reason, if only because I'm looking forward to Let's Playing out with Elliot and Matt.
Yeah.
Because I had a hell of a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I could tell.
Do Rayman Origins instead. It's much
do
better.
you know
Look,
what would be
I
great
already get tons of requests for Rayman Origins and Kirby's
Return to Dreamland.
Return to Dreamland because of the whole 4-player gimmick. You know?
Nintendo, you know what'd be great? If Super Mario Brothers U had online.
I think.
Oh wait, you don't care about online and refuse to mention anything about it.
Well,
Besides,
but until
Facebook posting.
until then, it's inconclusive. We don't know if I've got a pretty safe bet that it's going to have online co-op.
It better. Fucking better.
Hell, wasn't New Super Mario Brothers 2 just recently confirmed to have co-op?
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 2 has online co-op.
So Wii U better fucking
So yeah,
have it.
I think
There's no reason for it to not have it at this point.
It's Nintendo. You'd never know with them.
I the benefit of this.
Well, look what happened with Kid Icarus. That one came out okay.
Yeah, that came out
that's
fine.
a 3DS.
They need to consistently prove it for a year or two before I'll start giving
yeah.
them the benefit of the doubt.
And I think this is when they're going to start being consistent. Now,
because I mean, they've implied. I mean, they haven't outright stated it, but it's also implied that Pikmin 3 is going to have online story mode co-op.
You also got to consider the competition you're up against. Yes, the Wii U is very late coming into this generation with their we all say that in terms of technicality, technically speaking, that the Wii U is slightly more powerful than the 360 and PS3.
No, it's not the PS3. Slightly more
no, it's
powerful
powerfuler
than the
PS3.
More
powerful.
No, people are saying it's not.
I've heard reports that
some people are saying it is. So we need to find out. Okay,
we'll find out.
Wiki.
Okay, hold on.
Either way, it's not going to be as significant enough to.
Well, it's not going to be. Well, obviously, yeah.
What I was getting at earlier was that in an age where everything is online, everything needs to have some sort of online focus, and you need to have the right hardware to run it.
Anything that needs multiplayer needs to be online. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they really can't pull a Nintendo Wii and make the online shit. No, I think the Wii U's online will at least be.
They at least confirm no more friend codes. Fucking finally.
Well, they've got Here's the thing: they've confirmed voice chat. They've confirmed usernames. They've got all of this social networking stuff, which at least implies that the connection's going to be more stable. Yeah. So they're on the right track, is what I'm trying to say.
But all that means nothing if you can't get the games to play online, right? Which they are refusing to talk about.
Well, they probably don't have the online infrastructure ready yet. They probably are more worried about.
They could at least tell us the plans for it, so we're not wondering.
What if they're not allowed? What if they're not allowed?
What is there not to be allowed to talk about? Xbox 360 and PS3
People can be
already
picky.
They're Nintendo. They allow themselves.
Hey, people can be picky. They don't want to tell certain things. Sure, yeah, they'll piss people off. Exhibit A here, but
Huh.
Yeah.
Technical specs. That's all mumbo jumbo. I don't understand any of this shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But no, it's from what they're saying, it's at least as powerful as 360, if not more. I'm assuming it's more.
It better be more.
Only because
the 360 is 6 years old now.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm saying it better be more powerful than 360 and PS3. If only slightly, but it better be at least more powerful than those two systems. But Nintendo's still late to the game here. Because how much longer before 360?
Xbox 3 is most likely going to come out next year.
I don't think it's going to come out next year, but they might.
I think it'll be announced next year, but not.
Yeah.
It won't come out next year.
PS4 is going to be a while still, but Sony got ahead of the game by making their system really, really powerful when it came out.
Ooh.
There was an article recently that Jack Trenton or whatever, the guy who did the conference or whatever, he said that they're never the first one to, like, it's about being the best, not being the first to release your console.
Yeah. I would understand that.
Yeah. But that's it. Okay, then that's the Wii U better make me toast. Better have
Pikmin 3.
Well, I don't think Pikmin 3 can make me toast. So
here's the thing. Well, I'm going to compare the Wii launch and the Wii U upcoming launch. It's just like, with the Wii launch, the only game that I was really excited for was Trauma Center, which was a remake of a DS game. With the Wii U launch...
Zelda!
Well, that's a
Oh
GameCube.
God, wait, no.
Well, that's different for you just because you don't like the series.
Well,
but-
I got to imagine that some of the hype for Zelda must have been killed by the fact that everyone knew that it was a GameCube game ported to the Wii. You know?
Yeah, sort of, but
Yeah. So, but for the Wii U, I've got Rayman and I've got Pikmin 3. So I've already got two games that I'm super looking forward to for the system at launch, which isn't bad for a launch.
yeah, I suppose.
When you consider that most launches don't have anything worthwhile after 6 months later, having two games that look incredibly solid right from the get-go is actually, pretty good.
Good.
Was the new Super Mario Brothers U confirmed for
Oh,
launch?
that's going to be launch.
That's
it's
going to be
a
launch.
2D game, dude. You think
Well,
they
I'm
can't
way
get that
more
shit out?
Well, I'm pretty sure Legends is going to kick the shit out of Mario.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Considering that
No,
Origins-
hold on.
Not in terms of sales, but
Yeah, it's like you hope Rayman Legends kicks the shit out.
Well, I'm talking
means in
about
terms of
in
gameplay.
gameplay.
Are you talking about gameplay? Yeah, okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Sales?
No.
Well, let's just look at the track record here. Rayman Origins, one of my favorite 2D platformers ever. New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Same shit, different game.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately, just for Nintendo, for me, it was disappointing because there was nothing else. They spent so much time talking last year about, we want the core gamers back. You understand that you guys feel abandoned. What do they do with the new system now? Nothing but Mario and one other game.
Yep.
Well,
Where's
it's just
everything else?
Well, they probably assumed that Mario was a core franchise, which I mean,
For
I
one
get.
game, sure, but when that's all you're showing, guys.
Give us some variety. More variety, excuse me, I don't know.
I'm still waiting for Metroid 5. And,
New Star Fox game, new F-Zero game.
Give
How
me
about
something good.
How about a truly 3D Kirby game? Why don't you?
That's never gonna happen unless
No.
Sakurai gets his mitts off of the Kirby franchise, which isn't gonna happen. Kirby's gonna remain 2D forever. Which, that just reminds me. The 20th anniversary Kirby collection is confirmed to come over here.
what's in it?
They haven't announced what's in it, but I don't remember where I heard this, but I think
most likely Adventure, Dreamland 1, 2, and 3, Superstar.
maybe 64 if we're lucky. But it's just but from what I hear, it's not like the Mario collection where it's just the Super Nintendo ports. I think that they're remaking the games with the the Return to Dreamland engine, which actually I would be excited for.
Mm-hmm.
So
That'd be cool.
that looks like it'll be a pretty fun game. I'll pick that up.
The only other news that came out of the 3DS conference was that Fire Emblem was going to be brought over here. Thank fucking God.
Woo!
Something fucking different for the system.
Well, now that they established that Fire Emblem does sell well here, so why not?
Yeah.
Look, if I'm going to give...
Mother.
Alright, just so we're not entirely negative on the Nintendo conference, there's one thing I wanted to give credit to. Is that... Alright, I was expecting...
I was trying to be positive.
I was... No, well...
I've been
I'm
sticking
talking,
up for them the whole time.
I'm talking... Well, yeah, okay, in terms of me and Ryan, then.
Okay.
Uh...
Kill choice.
I was expecting I was expecting them when they were talking about the Wii U in terms of technical aspects that they were going to announce the multimedia features, but they just they scoffed at it it's yeah, Wii U has YouTube, Wii U has Amazon Video, Wii U has
Amazon Prime and whatever.
instant video. Okay, yeah, it has that. Let's move on. Which to me is how Microsoft should have done it. Microsoft wanted to spend 5 minutes apiece on each feature. Which, to me, Microsoft, take note. That's how it's YouTube. It's YouTube. It's Amazon Video. We already know how these features work. So just say you got it for the new... Xbox now supports it, and move on. Nintendo definitely got that part right.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
And then they had non-specific action figure.
What the hell is that all
gosh.
about?
It was an attempt at humor that kind of failed.
Hey, asshole, it's called Game Facts. Where have you been the last 16 years?
Seriously. I mean, okay, I admit some of the things were cool, but my God, acting! If my drama teacher saw that, she'd be having a field day.
It was, to me, I enjoyed it just because it was so lame.
Well, that too, but I mean, I would have enjoyed it too, but because I've been I've had some experience with acting, it kind of pissed me off.
Oh, well, I know all about acting, and yeah, it was acted terribly, but I enjoyed it because it was bad.
Well, true. It's like, just call me Grandpa. I feel uncomfortable.
By the way, who also expects that after the first day, the whole Mario hubs and whatever are going to be saying a lot of dirty things just to piss Nintendo
I'm
off?
sure they'll have a filter.
No,
They
they
have
already
Ryan,
said they have a 3-layer filter, but that doesn't stop stuff from getting through.
No,
Jeez.
Ryan, you don't understand. Nintendo's filter is strong enough to block out one of the own Pokemon words in Pokemon
That's
Black and White.
true.
True.
You can't have an unnicknamed Coffagigris go through the trade center.
Wow.
All because
No,
it
but
has the word fag in its name.
Yeah.
If my Uncle Larry was here, this is what he would say. Which F word? Fag, fuck, or fart?
Mark, I swear.
So,
No, it's a joke.
I guess just my opinion on Nintendo is it was incredibly disappointing. I understand why they want to do Mario for the launch, just to get tons of people in the stores to get it because it's Mario.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to forgive this, but only if next year you bring everyone else and leave Mario alone for a bit.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
well, at least, think about it this way. Next year, we'll at least have Smash.
Yeah, but I mean,
Smash.
everyone else needs to be there. You can't just focus on one different Mario,
No,
non-Mario
wait.
game.
You know what? Actually, thinking about it, Ryan. If next year they plan on showing Smash, then they could use that as an excuse to not show off any other franchises. Because to them, that's technically showing all franchises at once.
Well,
I hope
I'm sure
not,
they'll
but I
show
mean-
something other than Smash. They need to have at least
More Mario.
And, yeah, that's what my fear is. Is that they're going to get into a rut where they'll release one non-Mario game a year to try and appease us, and then just spam Mario for everything. That's
Well,
my
yes.
fear.
Well, I
But
mean,
Mario.
I'm sure there'll be like a Mario spin-off next
No,
year or
Ted,
something dumb.
that doesn't matter. It's still Mario.
Well, I'm just saying.
Life.
I'm probably. It's just like they'll probably.
Mario.
You're
Station.
missing the point, Ted.
Well, no.
You
let
cannot
me
rely on
finish what I
Mario
was
for
trying
90%
to.
of your output.
Hold on, let Ted talk.
Fine.
Sorry.
What I was going to say is I'm sure that they'll try to push off like a Mario sports thing as a Mario title just to keep the shareholders at bay. But I mean, you can't just have Smash because even if you announce Smash in 2013, it's not going to come out until 2016. So you need to have something else a little bit more immediate, you know?
Gee, I hope we're alive by
But
then.
again, Ted, my point is you're not bringing up what they should show besides Smash. Because
Well-
I don't want them to fall into the rut of, okay, every E3, here's your one non-Mario game for the core fans to tide you over for an entire year, and here's 5 more Mario games.
Well, if you've got Smash, then they'll probably show Smash, something else big for the holiday season,
That's
whatever.
probably going to be Mario, because it's
It's
Nintendo.
it's
More
not gonna.
Mario.
I don't think it'll. If it's Mario, if it does end up being Mario, it better at least be a 3D title. But
Bye, Luigi Mansion till holiday.
well, no, it's just like.
Again, I'm willing to forgive this if we get what we want next time. They're just doing this to try and install the launch base.
Okay, actually, I want to say this: if they're announcing something not Mario next year, it better not be Zelda. It better not.
All
be
right,
Zelda.
all right. Well, at this point,
You
it's
and
pretty.
Zelda.
At this point, we already know how the structure goes. They spent this E3 talking about the Wii U, which we all saw coming.
Yep.
You know, we kind of wish we wish there was a bit more variety in terms of games. Even though they did show a lot of them, they weren't the games that we wanted to see. Next year, besides Smash Brothers, this is it.
They need to
You already got the Wii U established. The Wii U will already be out by the time
you
this
spam
E3
Mario
get
is
here.
all you spam Mario up the ass.
Yep.
You know, the Wii U's already by E3 next year. The Wii U's already going to be out. You know, we have all the games that you
Give us
already
variety.
showcased last E3. Now let's start bringing in the big numbers here. For that, with that said, next year, in terms of predictions for Nintendo's side, I want to see, I want to see another Metroid game. Again, I can't say that enough. I know I might be annoying the hell out of some people in there listening to this.
Not annoying me.
But
Well, Johnny, remember, Other M came out in 2010, and besides, Other M was mixed to negative. You know, there was not a whole lot of super positive things about Other M. So I can imagine them holding Samus off for a little bit.
I kind of got that feeling, to be honest.
It's just I can understand them trying to let Samus sit for a while because Other M was so.
let it fester.
Here's an idea. How about some franchises you've skipped over for the last 8 years, like Star Fox or F-Zero?
to me, the time span between each Metroid game is 3 years. With that said, that's why I'm expecting something next year. Because, let's put it this way, yeah, I completely understand what you're getting at with Other M not being received as well. To me, that's not a fucking excuse to just lay off. To me,
True.
if the game is just bad, learn from it and make another one. I mean, that's how you gradually improve, which is another reason why we got on the Zelda series a bit, for having the, pretty much only slightly refining the exact same fucking formula from Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
You can take 5 years to make a new game, but if its problems are still the same as the last time, then we're not gonna have to wait another 5 fucking years for the next game to improve upon it. To me, that's not an excuse. Learn from their past mistakes and just make another game, as soon as possible.
But if they rush it, then they're probably going to make different dumb mistakes.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. But in terms of Metroid, yeah, sure. Metroid Other M wasn't terrible.
I hate it when people say it was terrible, because it's not.
It's not the Sonic 06 of Metroid games.
Okay.
That's just fucking stupid to say.
At least it's playable.
I'll still play Other M before I play Sonic 06. But to me, that's not a reason. Just learn from it. Make it completely 2D or make it completely 3D, or try the Other M formula again. Only just expand upon it.
Well, it's like the Other M gameplay was okay. If you give me an analog stick, and then they just need to fix the details.
Yeah.
And the voice acting.
Well, I consider that part of the details.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you expand, Other M had a lot of potential. Then just make the other game live up to that potential. And again, I'm saying 3 years. That's all we need. We had Prime came out in 2002. Was it?
2000. I think it might have been 3 or 4.
No, I think it was 2000. I remember them saying it came around the same time frame as Metroid Fusion.
Metroid Prime.
I think it was 3. No, I
I'm already doing that, Johnny. Johnny, I'm already doing it.
No, I want to do it first.
Okay, let's see. Metroid Prime came out
was
November 17th, 2002.
I said it before you, I win.
No, I said it just before you.
All right, and if I recall, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes was
2 years later.
Fuck.
Wrong.
3 years later for Corruption, and then
3 years after that for Other M. So 3 years. That's
you forgot it. Well, you have to average in the
I'm not counting Pinball.
No, you have to. No, Johnny, you have to measure in the 8-year gap between Super Metroid and Fusion. That brings the average up a whole lot.
True. I'm just talking about for 3D games. I really couldn't care if it's 3D or 2D. I just want another Metroid game.
You mean Metroid?
I want something we haven't seen in a while, like Star Fox or F-Zero.
But technically, didn't we have Star? Oh wait, never mind. That's a port.
No, Command came out longer ago than you think.
Yeah,
and I don't count 64 3D.
64 3D is just a port. Yeah.
I had Assault. I liked it. I
like the game. Don't get me wrong. It's the same game I played on the N64.
It's not a new game.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's what. Well, then hold on, because whenever they try to do something new, it's like, oh, it's Zelda. Like, what was it, Star Fox Adventures?
Well, Adventures was not even a Star Fox game until the last minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it was.
No. It literally was not a Star Fox game until it almost.
No, here's what happened with Star Fox Adventures. Rare was making a game called Dinosaur Planet. Miyamoto came in and said, "Hey, the protagonist looks like Fox." Rare
this game needs more Star Fox. I am hijacking this game development.
Pretty much.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Miyamoto.
I actually remember seeing that from the Did You Know on Tumblr.
Yeah, more like Miyamoto saw it and thought it would make the game sell better if they put Star Fox in it because people knew who he was now.
Well, I mean, Rare. It's not like Rare. Well, all of Rare's titles sold well during that period. It's just like the Banjo game sold well, Conquer sold well for what it was.
Adventures did okay.
Yeah, I still want to play the game because it looks interesting to me.
Assault, the foot missions, while a good idea, they didn't do a very good job with them. It's not like I'm harping on the idea. I think it could work. It's just that Nintendo didn't know how to make a shooter at the time.
Oh.
At least a foot shooter, anyway.
Well, because
Command
was eh. At least he's in the R-Wing.
Yeah. But it's like...
Sorry,
Fire! Run!
Yeah. There's a big blinking light, too. It's hurting my eyes.
Well, I mean...
Fire alarm, really?
But I mean,
what?
Just, it's been way too long since we've done Star Fox and F-Zero.
Shit, we gotta go.
Okay.
Shit!
Okay, we'll see you later, Amanda.
No! I want to keep going.
We're pretty much done. I think the only thing we haven't talked about is Sonic.
Okay, wait, end it now!
Conference is over. There's a fire in the house. Let's go.
Not house, office. Fuck.
We'll see.
But
you
what
later.
about NASCAR in my Sonic game?
Shut up.
You got your Diddy Kong Racing in
I
my
think we should save that for an entirely
Yeah.
different impressions video.
I don't think you need an entire impressions video for Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing.
I think.
Why is the GoDaddy stripper in my Sonic game?
Nah.
Yeah, what is that? What is that all about? An actual NASCAR driver inside.
Danica Patrick. Yeah.
This is bad. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm
Virus,
sorry
catch
for that abrupt ending.
up. Stop, drop, and roll.
Thanks for the pick.
Okay, yeah. I'll talk to you.
Oh,
And
the fire
she's gone.
And she's gone.
The fire took out the internet connection.
Alright, so
I was-
later
No,
on.
no, he's gasping
Just
for breath.
go. Don't burn to death.
Just go.
I'd rather die and talk to you guys.
No, go. Your
We
life's
need you
not
to draw
worth
fan
it.
art for us.
Okay, fine.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm ending this call now.
Later.
Okay.
Bye.
Alright, so, yeah, we have the GoDaddy stripper in our Sonic Racing game.
Okay.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, to me, it could be the equivalent of Sonic getting the soap shoe label for Sonic Adventure 2.
No,
Well, so-
it's
No.
a little bit more.
It's a little bit more blatant than that. But
It's also a little bit more invasive than that because the shoes didn't do anything in Adventure 2.
To me, well, look, and in this case, does it really matter?
not particularly, but it's still stupid all the same.
It depends. If she knocked out the potential spot for another racer, I'm sure a lot of Sega fans will be upset.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
that
no.
regards, I can understand. But to me, really, in a game like this, I don't think it matters.
It's just still stupid.
And
Ultimately-
honestly, how much does Sega have, really?
Well, I mean, they
Vector
played it
Man.
up as a big surprise, though, and everybody's just like, really?
You think any gamers actually care about NASCAR, let alone someone who's never done anything with their racing career? Who only gets exposure because she's a female driving in a predominantly male sport. That's it. She's more well known for the GoDaddy commercials than she is for racing.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, who would this sell towards? Because, I mean, I don't think a NASCAR redneck fan or my dad
A
would.
redneck fan.
It's just like I don't think that a NASCAR fan would go out of their way to buy a Sonic game just because a racer they happen to like is on the cover. You know?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Who is this? What is the logic, Sega? What is this logic?
It's an endorsement.
I guess.
They need all the money they can get.
They really do.
Mhm.
Because Sonic can't carry them forever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They should try putting out more than just Sonic.
Yeah. So that was E3.
And like the ending of this podcast, extremely anticlimactic.
Yeah.
We lost one of our people to a fire, and
She won't be able to draw us.
I think we should end before the plague sets in Ted's room. A tornado touchdown.
Before we talk until early December and the Majora's Mask countdown music starts playing.
Which, by the way, I'm totally fucking with my YouTube audience on that day.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody, I implore you now, I'm spreading the word right now. At 11:55 on that night, play the last end music to Majora's Mask.
Yeah, the countdown music with
Yeah,
the
the
bells. and
countdown
stuff.
music for before the moon falls. Play that during the last 5 minutes of that night,
Hilarity.
and let's have a gay old time.
Oh, that does bring up one thing I wanted to bring up. Anyone else see the fake Majora's Mask trailer?
I saw that too.
Why don't
Fucking
you
amazing.
make this?
Completely disappointed that it was fake.
So overexposing Mario is okay, but overexposing Zelda is totally fine.
No, did you see the video?
I saw it. The CG, fake or not, the CGI was impressive. Don't get me wrong.
Make that.
It's just like, do
Look,
we
we-
really
look,
need
look,
another
look.
port?
We already discussed about how it's only an inevitability that they're going to bring Majora's Mask.
That's
in.
what
Yes,
But seeing
but
that,
seeing that, just wow! I really want that remake now.
yeah. Because Majora's Mask is the most atmospheric game Nintendo's ever made. I'd like to see that in good graphics, please.
Don't care.
Da, 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 da.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go watch that Pikmin 3 trailer again 4 times in a row.
Fuck you and your boner.
You will never get rid of it.
Okay.
Hey, stop knocking down the glass.
So, what about games like Resident Evil 5 or
6?
Well, Resident Evil 5 came
6.
out like 3 years ago.
yeah.
We kind of already went over it.
6.
So like 6 in the new Devil May Cry.
Looks fine.
Alright, well, 6 I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna get it on its. I'm gonna get it launch day.
Nah.
Because, I'm still a pretty big Resident Evil fan.
I'm pretty mad to it in
Devil May
DMC.
Cry different too. Couldn't really care.
Fair.
Yeah, there's something really weird, like, that's like, I don't know, it looks really good and fun, and, like, you'd think that...
You're the guy who likes the really weird games in this commentary group, Hayden.
But, like, I feel like I should be mad that it's not, like, really scary or anything, but it just looks really fun.
If it's a fun game, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm indifferent to it. I'm not gonna outright say I hate it. That's just a fucking stupid thing to say. But in terms of everything else, it's just a matter of word of mouth. If people like it, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Other than that, though,
Yeah, very anticlimactic E3. Let's hope next year is better.
Well, next
Don't
year's
we say
going to
that
have
every-
Smash, so
don't
it's
we say that-
automatically going to be better.
I have such a pattern here.
Yeah. Nintendo make that damn Majora's Mask remake.
Time. That's the end of the thing.